Satan in heaven, before his rebellion, was a high and exalted angel, next in honor to God's dear Son. His countenance, like those of the other angels, was mild and expressive of happiness. Yet Jesus, God's dear Son, had the preeminence over all the angelic host. His form was perfect, his bearing noble and majestic. He was one with the Father before the angels were created. Satan was envious of Christ, and gradually assumed command which devolved on Christ alone. The great Creator assembled the heavenly host, that he might in the presence of all the angels confer special honor upon his Son. The Son was seated on the throne with the Father, and a heavenly throng of holy angels was gathered around them. The Father then made known that it was ordained by himself that Christ, his Son, should be equal with himself, so that wherever was the presence of his Son, it was as his own presence. Satan was envious and jealous of Jesus Christ. Satan thought that he was himself a favorite in heaven among the angels. He left the immediate presence of the Father, dissatisfied and filled with envy against Jesus Christ. Concealing his real purposes, he assembled the angelic host. He introduced his subject, which was himself. As one aggrieved, he related the preference God had given Jesus to the neglect of himself. He told them that henceforth all the sweet liberty the angels had enjoyed was at an end, for had not a ruler been appointed over them, to whom they from henceforth must yield servile honor. There was contention among the angels. Angels that were loyal and true sought to reconcile this mighty, rebellious angel to the will of his Creator. Satan was envious and jealous of Jesus Christ. Yet when all the angels bowed to Jesus to acknowledge his supremacy and high authority and rightful rule, Satan bowed with them, but with hatred in his heart. Satan refused to listen, and then he turned from the loyal and true angels, denouncing them as slaves. These angels, true to God, stood in amazement as they saw that Satan was successful in his effort to rebellion. He promised them a new and better government than they then had, in which all would be freedom. Great numbers signified their purpose to accept Satan as their leader and chief command. It was the highest crime to rebel against the government of God. All the heavenly host were summoned to appear before the Father, to have each case determined. Satan unblushingly known his dissatisfaction that Christ should be preferred before him. Good angels wept to hear the words of Satan and his exulting boasts. Then there was war in heaven. The Son of God and true, loyal angels prevailed. Satan and his sympathizers were expelled from heaven. Angels in heaven mourned the fate of those who had been their companions in happiness and bliss. The Father consulted Jesus in regard to at once, carrying out their purpose to make man to inhabit the earth. He would place man upon probation to test his loyalty.